Welcome back, everyone. We just finished off our Christmas event, and now we're getting back onto the Crystal Tower quest line. It's really bright here in Mordana right now, so I wanted to show you guys the sites where it wasn't gloomy. In the distance, in the middle of Silver Tear Lake, there you can see the body of a Imperial Dreadnought wrapped in a what looks like a dragon skeleton. If you might recall, they did touch on that early in the story when the dragon Midgard's Solarmer took down the Invincible. Guess it wasn't all that invincible. Anyway, here's Piamet. She's here whisper going with Mira in her tiny whisper go. Anywho, and if you look over here in the distance, you can see amongst all these crystal shards jutting up out of the ground, one stands higher, much higher than the rest. And it is to there that we will head. As we just finished off last stream doing the Labyrinth of the Ancients. Well, today we're going to be doing the quests that lead into the second part of the Crystal Tower raid instances. So first things first, I'm going to share screen with Silly and Piamet. Let me know when you two can see this.
Oh, I can see it.
Excellent. Alright, so first up is Grahatia, Silly.
Okay. I need to make it bigger. Hold on. So good of us to join us. So good of you to join us, Miro. Our meeting would be dull indeed without a full account of your experiences in the labyrinth. Take a moment to collect yourself, and when you are ready, we shall debate how best to proceed.
Alright, for prosperity, Grahatia is ready to address the assembled Fellowship of Noah.
The Fellowship of Noah being accounted for, it is this time the assembly was called to order. Rambros will be presiding over the meeting. If you be so kind as to inform him of your readiness to proceed.
Alright. Welcome back, Miro. I have just been reading about your encounter in the Labyrinth of the Ancients. It pleases me greatly to note that you seem none the worse for the experience. For your reference, I have added my own notes to Graha's preliminary expedition report and begun compiling a Crystal Tower survey log. The information contained therein will be available to you at all times. Should you have any questions, you need only ask. Now, if there are no objections, I shall begin with a summary of the expedition's key accomplishments. Alright, which one do I want here? Quick Arm, Battle Lance, Quick Tongue, Quick Tongue. In the course of this, our first foray into the grounds of the Crystal Tower, we succeeded in neutralizing the structure's outer defenses, before proceeding to secure the maze surrounding the base of the spire. According to Miro's account, the labyrinth's defenses were most emphatically active. Disturbingly, her report also mentions a violent encounter with a sentry heavily augmented by Allagan technology.
In short, our misgivings were well founded. The Crystal Tower was not simply thrust above ground by the chaotic shifting of Earth. It has somehow been reawoken. If, as seems incredibly likely, the Tower's secrets should prove too dangerous to share with the world, we will have no choice but to contain them. Short of leveling the place, this will almost certainly involve returning its mechanisms to a state of dormancy. To do that, however, we will first need to address the question of how they work. The answer to which must surely be waiting for us inside the tower itself. In conclusion, that is where we must go. A task rather easier said than done, if the perils of the labyrinth are any indication.
Then I move that all further exploration of the tower be delayed until such time as an exhaustive analysis of the structure's defenses has been completed. Master Garland, may I entrust this task to you?
It would be my pleasure.
Don't forget about us.
It's like you said, Chief. We founded the Iowans to make that technology was used for the right reasons. And that means making sure it's not used by the wrong ones. Or for the wrong ones. We wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't see this through to the end.
Lads, well, I hope you're ready for some back-breaking chores. Well, everything seems to be in hand here, so I shall take my leave for you at the present. If I am to witness this valiant tale unfold with mine own eyes, I must needs hone my martial skills ere we ascend the spire.
You do nothing of the sort, Graha. Your knowledge may prove useful to Master Garland's investigation.
As an observer, I am not, strictly speaking, subject to your authority. Pray, do not mistake my intent, Miro. I am well aware that I shall never be matched for one with your innate talents, however hard I train. Be that as it may, pray do not allow your skills to rust from disuse during the coming pause. We will need you fighting fit if our subsequent forays are to prove as productive as this one. Mark me, we have not yet caught more than the briefest glimpse of that which time has obscured. Soon, however, we shall cast off the veil and gaze upon the glory of the Allagan Empire.
And with that encouraging thought in mind, it is time to bring this assembly to a close. Let us all focus on the task at hand, that our next expedition may begin all the sooner. Meeting adjourned.
Such a terrible mess. Yet it does leave the door wide open, so to speak. One cannot help but be impressed. I'm beginning to understand the reliance you place on adventurers, old friend. So, this is the legacy the Allagan Empire left behind. If my readings are correct, the energy source waiting atop the tower is a match even for the Ultima weapon. Nay, more than a match. A new toy for me to play with. I believed the fates had conspired to deny me my just rewards once again, but it would seem they had a greater destiny in mind for me. And so long as my ambition burns, I shall strive to seize it. The dream lives on, Cid. Do not disappoint me.
Alright, Rambros. Circus Tower. Rambros is frustrated over Noah's lack of progress on the Crystal Tower. Ah, 'tis you, my friend. You're doubtless eager to hear the progression on Crystal Tower. Excellent. I'd be disappointed to hear otherwise. Of course, disappointed is the word of the day, I fear. I'm ashamed to say that there is nothing worthwhile to report. The Suns continue to probe the labyrinth of the ancients, and every day brings new discoveries. Alas, the same cannot be said of the Crystal Tower proper. We've not been able to set so much as a single foot inside.
You will recall how the 8th Sentinel stood between us and the labyrinth initially? In like manner, the entryway into the principal spire, Circus Tower, as the Allagans called it, is also protected by technology far more advanced than our own. Sid and I have tried every trick we know, but without success. Frankly speaking, we are at a loss.
It is discouraging, but we cannot give up. There must be a way in. And so the situation stands, my friend. Until we gain entry into the tower, I fear your talent shan't avail us. It will require some time that I am loath to waste, but I have a mind set to set my people to scouring such ancient texts as we have on hand. Perhaps we can be of assistance.
And you are?
Be at ease, friends, for we share the self-same goal. I am Une, and my companion is called Doga. We are scholars of the Allagan civilization sent by the students of Baldassian to assist in your endeavor.
Une and Doga, rather unusual names for this day and age, if I might be forgiven for observing, but I digress. You claim to be here at the students' behest, but we have received nary a word of your coming. Moreover, in light of the recent incident at the Isle of Val, I should think that they have rather more pressing concerns. We can only assume that the message failed to reach you due to some mishap. I assure you that we are here to help. What is it, Graha?
'Tis nothing. There was a pain, but it has subsided.
Well, this is rather unexpected. Your right eye is the same as ours.
The same? You have the Allagan eye as well? This sanguine hue is said to be a trait unique to the Allagan, yet I inherited it from my father as he did from his. Only one child in a single generation is born with the eye. All my life I have sought to learn the truth of its manifestation. If there was aught you know, I implore you to tell me.
My deepest apologies, but we have no answers for you. Only one thing is certain. Those who possess the trait are also bound by fate to Allag. As your eye has placed you upon the path you walk, so too have we come to fulfill our destiny. Absurd so it may sound, it is the truth.
It seems to me we have naught to lose by accepting their aid. What say you?
If that is your wish, then so be it. Yet know that I still mean to verify your story with the students of Baldessian when I am able. I trust there will be no objections. Very well. As of this moment, I name Une and Doga advisory members of Noah. Without further ado, let us have them examine the circus tower entrance. I promise you'll not have cause to regret your decision. Mira, I should be much obliged if you were to accompany our new friends to the tower. Biggs and Wedge are presently surveying the 8 sentinels. The two of them can show you the way. Upon arrival, pray report to Master Garland. He will brief you on the situation.
I shall join you, Miro. With Une and Doga's knowledge, along with your uncanny knack for setting events in motion, I am hopeful that we will finally see progress.
Alright. So off we go. Oops, that's too far. There we go. So we're heading over to the Crystal Tower now. My stream may actually be lagging. If it is, I apologize, everyone. I did not fix the thing. There we go. Limit it to 30 FPS, make it easier on the stream. It's not as smooth as it would be otherwise, but should be okay. Oh, he is actually attacking me. Huh. We are heading to the 8 Sentinels. If you recall, these are what we used the elemental fangs in the last bit of stream to break down. They were kind of vaporizing anybody who tried to get close to Crystal Tower before. It's now foggy over there, though, so I can't even see the tower. Well, I can. It's just... There it is.
It's pretty foggy.
Yeah, here's Wedge payment.
We are examining the rubble in the hopes that it will yield a clue to entering the circus tower. Can you tell we're getting desperate?
Well, if it isn't Miro, you could enter Circus Tower and kill everything in sight, no doubt. As I'm sure you've already heard, though, the place is locked up as tight as a clam. New friends from the students, you say? Excellent. It's been slow going, or rather no going, for the chief. He'll appreciate the help. You just follow me, I'll take you to him.
Ah, some old faces to lift the spirit, and a couple of new ones besides. Allow me to introduce Une and Toga. They are scholars of ancient Allagan sent to here by our friends of Baldessian to aid in the investigation.
We understand you're having trouble circumventing the tower's defenses. 'Tis our hope that we can be of some small assistance.
If your attire is all to go by, your assistance should prove invaluable indeed. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. Beyond rises Circus Tower, the principal spire of the structure collectively known as the Crystal Tower. The only way to get inside is through the proverbial front door, the imposing gate you see here. The problem is, we can't get it to open. It's sealed by some mechanism whose workings are an utter mystery to us. Having had no success via more orthodox methods, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to a magitech cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch on it. For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ashes like the 8 Sentinels, but that doesn't make it any less effective a security measure. It's fiendishly frustrating in its simplicity. The only clue we have is the elaborate device carved upon it. A man and a woman, respectant, Allagan royalty by my judgment. Precisely who these individuals were, we cannot say. Nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. Like as not, it is purely decorative. If you're thinking to force it, save your strength. It's no use. Just ask the calluses on my hands.
Rest assured, we do not mean to waste our strength.
Indeed, why should we excite ourselves when the gate will open of its own accord?
It's technically exerting themselves.
Agreed. I don't think any of us expected that to happen.
Miro did.
7 hells. What is this? What did you do? What are you?
I don't know who that is, so silly.
Hmm?
You voiced that. I don't know who that
Ah.
is.
Piercing the heavens and gathering the light, a symbol of mankind's glory and might. It is virtue guarded by gates impregnable, only to those of royal blood answerable. Exactly as passed down through legend, I am delighted to see. Beg pardons for interrupting your bewilderment. I couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you have acquired. Nero, you're still alive? Garland. If I didn't know better, I would say you weren't happy to see me. Ah, but I jest. In light of our recent meetings, you have every right to be wary. But rest assured, I am no longer a threat to you. My legion is for all intents and purposes defunct, and my association with it means a titled noose awaits me back in Garlemald. And so I've been roaming this land Eorzea, a regular itinerant. In the course of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. It sounded positively fascinating, and so I decided to come here and join you. After the wrongs you've committed, you think us that gullible? If you are suspicious of my intent, 'tis only my just deserts, but I am determined to make amends. As a gesture of goodwill, I shall share with you what I know, starting with these 2 odd characters. As you are doubtless already aware, the Crystal Tower was the symbol of ancient Allag's might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to royalty and a select few individuals. According to the records I have unearthed, only royal blood can open the gate. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys. You mean to say that these 2 are descended from Allagan royalty? Oh, I suggest nothing so glamorous. To put it plain, they are imitations of royalty, living keys born of Allagan ingenuity. Clones, I believe, is the name your creators gave your kind. Is that not so?
It would seem the time for concealment is past. Pray accept our apologies. It was not our intent to deceive. We simply wish to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would consider deranged claims.
If it please you, let us return to the 8 sentinels. There is much and more to tell.
Very well. Movies. 7 hells. Did you seriously mean to follow us around? Come, Garland, you know me better than to think that I spoke in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps? An Allagan tombstone. It holds the information I just shared with you, and a deal more besides. It used to be the jealously guarded property of the 14th Legion, but it is yours now. I wish you joy of it. I look forward to working together, old friend.
Oh shit, I didn't realize I was unmuted. Sorry.
Alright, so we're gonna talk to Nero over here first.
We may have not have gotten off to the best of starts, but the past is in the past. Yesterday's enemies can be today's friends. Do you not agree, Warrior of Light?
Alright, Biggs. The Chief and Nero go all the way back to the Magitech Academy. It's an exclusive school situated in the capital, reserved for the Empire's brightest elite. I don't know the nitty-gritty details, but they didn't get along back then, and they don't get along now. Fate's a bastard for bringing them together again. And Wedge.
To think the Allegans could make copies of people. If this knowledge were to fall into the wrong hands, the world would become a terrible place. I shudder to imagine a dozen Bigs shouting at me all day long.
Sid?
It goes without saying that Nero can't be trusted. We do well to keep an eye on him at all times.
Grahatia.
Let us hear what Uniel and Doga have to say. It would not be too late to decide upon a course of action afterwards.
Right, and Ine.
You have every right to mistrust us, but I beg you to hear us out. Long have we waited for this opportunity to fulfill our life's purpose.
Doga. If you are ready to listen, we shall tell you all. As it pertains closely to your investigation, your leader Rambros may wish to be present. Before we begin, pray allow me to apologize again. It was not our intent to deceive you. As you will have already gathered, we are not scholars sent by the students of Baldestian. Nay, we are clones, copy of people who once existed given life through Allagan technology. This is a rather lot to take in. If it would not be considered unseemly, might I ask why you and yours were created, and more specifically what it is that you now seek to do? Answering your questions requires that we revisit Allagan history. Pray bear with us.
The Allagan Empire reached its zenith long before our kind came into being. In that glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood tall as a symbol of Allagan pride. Parents took their children there that they might learn how the nigh limitless energy it produced brought prosperity to the whole empire.
That prosperity, however, bred decadence, and the Empire began to show signs of stagnation. This decline was made all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, the Allagan civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Its once gleaming cities fell into disrepair, and its frontier lands were given over to the wilderness.
Lamenting the pitiful state of affairs, one technologist made it his mission to restore Allag to greatness. Ammon was his name, and he believed that the ailing empire wanted for a potent ruler, and none was more potent than its founding father, whom he sought to resurrect.
Jeez, Ellie.
The founding father? You cannot mean Emperor Xander.
None other as... Oh, that's you hearing it.
None other. As part of his experiments, Aman created clones of the Emperor's descendants. We are the products of that experiment, copies of Une and Doga.
Historical text mentions the reign of 2 Allagan emperors named Xande. It was commonly believed that the second was the namesake of the first. After all, such a custom was not uncommon among royalty and commoners alike. To think that the two were in fact one and the same...
Xande returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more. In true to Amon's prediction, the Emperor restored his realm to the glory it once knew. Would that he could have been satisfied with that.
In his previous life, the Emperor desired to bring the entire world under Allagan dominion, an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing that he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Xande turned his sights towards a forbidden source, darkness. In order to learn how to harness this power, he converted the crystal power into a restricted research facility.
Darkness again. 7 hells. What is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness in their lust for power? Well, at least this one won't be bothering us, being thousands of years dead and all.
Would that you were right, Master Garland. Alas, Emperor Xande is very much alive. Within Circus Tower he still abides, his ambition burning all the more ardently for his empire's collapse. Wielding the power of darkness requires prodigious amounts of energy that not even the Crystal Tower could produce. In order to augment the shortfall, Dalamud was created and launched into the heavens. On high it hung, gathering the sun's energy and channeling it to the tower below. However, a miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence, the calamity that ushered in the Fourth Umbrella. In the brink of the Enai, the mighty Allagan Empire was laid to waste. Yet even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, the technologist Aemon, now Emperor Xande's closest aide, invoked powerful magics and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structure, the Emperor included, was placed into a deep slumber. In that state, they were to remain until the time was ripe to awaken.
Eras came and went. After millennia lying dormant, Dalamud was summoned back to the earth. Its descent triggered the 7th Umbral Calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower re-emerged. At that moment, Emperor Xande awakened. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with darkness and was seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fleeting memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realized. Tis for no other purpose but to put an end to Xande's madness that we exist. This is the mantle we have inherited from our namesakes, the true Nay and Doga. Fearing what might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart their emperor. They gave unto us their will, that we might carry on their mission should they fail.
When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, We deliberated a course of action, concluded that we alone could not overcome Zande. We struck out to find a worthy ally. It has taken years, but our search is finally over. It is no ordinary woman who can cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. With you as our champion, Miro Apprentice, we are confident that we can end Zande's dark ambition once and for all.
Well, that'll teach me for speaking too soon. Setting my chagrin aside, I see now why you knew about the students of Baldessian amongst a host of other things. You were observing our investigation the whole time. So, what will we do, Miro? The world's in grave danger again, and it just so happens you're an expert at saving it.
You have our eternal gratitude. Together, let us see the Allagan Empire's dark past laid to rest. It has been our mission to recover the long-lost knowledge of the Allagan civilization. But what worth is that knowledge if it means subjugating the realm to peril? Truth be told, it pains me to think that the tower's secrets may become lost to us, but the greater good must ever come first. Besides, no quantity of ancient relics compared to our friends Una and Doga, living, breathing Allagans. And so I hereby declare a change to Noah's objective. Henceforth, we shall direct all efforts towards sealing off Circus Tower. Its dark secrets must never know the light of day. Miro, as you did for us within the Labyrinth of the Ancients, I would have you enter the structure and eliminate hostile elements. Suffice it to say, this includes Emperor Zande himself. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Circus Tower from the outside world. To work, then!
Wait, there is something I must know. My right eye is like yours. Does this mean...
You inherited the trait from your father, you said. Know that clones are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The elegant eye, you called it, but to us it is the royal eye, owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessed of royal blood. I cannot well explain why the eye runs in your line, but I am disinclined to think it a coincidence. Though you are doubtless impatient to learn the truth, pray have patience. All will be revealed in due time. Okay, talk to Une.
Though their names do not appear to have survived the passage of time, Doga and Une were worthy individuals. They were not without faults, but they placed the welfare of the people above all else. When Zande was resurrected, they supported his second ascension to the throne, in hopes that the Empire would flourish once more under his leadership. When it came to light that Zande was consorting with dark powers, they did all within their power to stop him. Among their many acts, they imbued us, two humble clones, with their will.
Within Circus Tower, you will encounter clones who share our appearance. Though they too were created in the image of Doga and Une, they are but empty husks bereft of independent will. Their sole purpose is to eliminate intruders. Striking down spitting images of Une and myself may give you pause, but you must not let that stay your hand. And gratia.
My apologies if I've given you cause to worry. I'm quite well, I assure you. As you can appreciate, there has been much for me to think on. But now is the time for action, not idle thoughts. Circus Tower awaits us. Your task is to eliminate all hostile elements within the structure, Xande himself included. This will afford us the chance to seal off the facility. May the crystal grant you strength.
And there's our destination. Circus Tower, right there. Let's say a good time. Okay. So who all's on? Alright, viewers, I'm going to stop my recording here. I will load it back up when we pop the queue for Circus Tower, and that'll probably be it for the stream today when we are done with that.